Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball, fueled by Gatorade. And welcome back to the Valley of the Sun, where we've officially hit the halfway point of the 2024 campaign. The middle day of our middle week is on tap, where our athletes will look to make a major move up the leaderboard or further cement their status with Week 4 coming into focus. We invite you to meet us in the middle for Athletes Unlimited Week 3 action, starting now. Looking live at our leaderboard, the top 10, Betty De La Cruz Mejia in first for the time being. Brittany Abercrombie up next, hot on her heels. A lot of Team Orange climbing the ranks here after a big win to go 2-0 here in Week 3. With that, we bring you courtside, the Arizona Athletic Grounds, joined by our Olympic middle blocker, Key Michael, Greg Meskel here with you. Key, as we look towards this one, Team Abercrombie, Team member Mene. Team member Mene, so much talent. How do they get more out of this squad today?
Well, it's interesting because it feels a little like a one-woman team right now. Lecator's drafted some talent, but interestingly, she took a setter that has never played with these pins before. So I need, for the blue side, to find that connection. Marley Monserrat has to figure out how to unlock Willow Johnson and Maddie Kingdom-Rochelle.
Now let's look across the way. Abercrombie, it's been going quite well as of late. One of their potential key focal points, Tammy Thomas-Ayala.
She is one of the players who I was looking out to watch in the last match. I said, ask and you shall receive. She had the best night of her season on Friday, stepping up in a big way. Posted her fair share of the attack points, but more importantly, gave up 0 errors in reception. She added that stability that her non-passing captain really needs. Her draft values rising day by day with performances that continue showcasing her all-around game.
And then swing it back to member Mene, one of those outside hitters they could target, Maddie Kingdon-Rochelle.
Yeah, she has been the top scorer of the first 5 matches she played in. She put up some absolutely stellar offensive numbers, but because of that, she got plucked off the board in every draft really early, and then she got paired up with brand new setters, new passers every single week. So this week's been her lowest performing match yet. My question is there a faulty combination here, or was it just a fluke? And will we see her right back to business today?
We'll find out on this episode of Athletes Unlimited. The rookie run-in here, Temi and Maddie. Their stats from Friday, they can be absolute game changers, as you alluded to just moments ago. It's going to be interesting to see who can get on track in the early stages here.
Yeah, and when you've got big pin hitters like Abercrombie, like Lecator, there has to be someone else to take some of that offensive load.
So we are underway. Team member Mene in the blue, Abercrombie, the gold squad wearing the black, and it's the team in blue striking first as they get things underway on cue. Kingdon-Rochelle.
Yeah, no surprise. Goes straight to her. Monserrat and her have now had an extra day of training yesterday to get things worked out.
Serving here. Now we'll see Abercrombie on the attack. Tammy Thomas-Ayala had that first swing. That was Abercrombie off the net. Hence there with the dig. Soft touch. Good pancake there, Monserrat.
Oh.
And set of nowhere, Abercrombie. What a rally, we're just getting started. Johnson. Outside once more. They got a piece, not the whole thing. Monserrat back set. Johnson, hands, fights it off. Free ball here. Monserrat to the outside. Big windup, working the block. The captain, Lecator, member Mene.
Morgan Hentz working overtime on point number 2 of the entire match. How many digs did she have just in that rally alone, making it so tough for the blue side to score?
What's that stat, Key? 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. The rest is Morgan Hentz. I think I read somewhere.
Something like that.
Yeah. She's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an unofficial AU stat, by the way. 2-1. Member Mene leading. Lecator crushes that inside the block attempt, and the point for the team in blue. They have come out energized here, Key.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they have every reason to, right? There's a lot on the line here. Every single match feels like a brand new one. Although we're in week 3 and these teams are starting to know each other, players know each other, the points on the board, and especially for a team like the blue side who gets an ace from Taylor Hanneline. Excellent work.
Plus 12 for Hanline on the ace individually, and a big point for her team. Just a misplay there. Thomas Ayala couldn't control. 4-1 start. Inside the block and the point right back to Abercrombie. That's Vanderweide. The outside hitter out of Oregon from Turlock, California.
Vanderweide, one of the pieces of Abercrombie's puzzle, trying to figure out those two other outside hitting spots.
Monserrat now, back row here, Kingdon Rischel. A meeting at the net and putting that down with ease. Right in front, Emily Thader.
Thader's been great in the last few weeks. A newcomer to the league, but showing her value every single time she steps on court.
And now Willow Johnson, part of a pretty strong Oregon contingent here in AU. Defense, you just mentioned Thader coming up with a big rejection.
And she corrected the error from a couple of points ago. Exactly the same swing. Last time her arms were a little bit off the net. This time goes low and tight, and we talked about this a little in the last match. Keeping the ball on the other side of the net, not even allowing it to cross the plane.
6-2 start for Member Mene. Abercrombie, big windup. Johnson too hot to handle. And the captain for the gold squad is in the mix.
And I'm surprised it's taken this long for her to get a swing going. She's often gone too early. She's a big part of the offense, and we'll see her as the night unfolds, how she can get around the blocks.
Overpass. Dump attempt there from Monserrat. They're ready. Now down the line, back corner. Vanderweide with some heat on that ball.
Good choice to go down the line. Monserrat is the blocker in the front right side of the court. Smaller blocker. It's always good to target there.
6-4 now. Trying to float that one to the back line with Thader. On the move, last touch. Kingdon Rischel knows she was there, just couldn't get out of the way of it. And the kill is good for McCage.
And here's a little example of how difficult it is to get the connection going. Monserrat and Thader not knowing each other that well. Molly McCage, Alicia Childress played together many, many years, not only here in AU, also a little bit with the USA.
McCage now getting on a roll. Adds back-to-back kills for Team Abercrombie to tie things up here, 6-6. Abercrombie serving once again. Back row, Johnson. Huge windup, big delivery. All smiles. 7-6.
Johnson, one of the pieces that needs to be unlocked from this blue side. And I spoke to her a little bit before the match, said, what do you need? She said, well, I went to Marley Monserrat and said, I need a little faster bit of a set. The set that she's used to giving is a little slower. They worked on it in training, and she's happy with where it is today.
Member Mene off the tape. Big block up front from Thader. Now on the slide, that pass was off target. McCage tried to clean it up. Instead, here's Johnson. Same result, different location. A point is there for Member Mene.
It's incredible what one day of training together will do. That ball lower, faster. Willow able to really get on it fast and beat the block. She only had 6 points, 5 kills in yesterday's match on something like 24 attempts.
Big turnaround. Vanderweide finds the mark. How important is it to share that feedback here? It's a quick turnaround, right? It's only a 5-week season. You can't really beat around the bush around what you need from your teammates.
100%. And setters love that. They love when you come to them and say, I want it faster, higher, inside, outside. They have 44 players they need to learn. The ones who give the feedback are the ones who get the ball.
Attack here. Thader up strong once again. A little off balance. They have to just push that across. Monserrat now. And to the captain again. Member Mene skying for the delivery and a 9-7 lead.
So the energy feeling contagious right now on Member Mane's side. That's the final swing is by her, changing direction inside of Molly's right hand, but everyone looking really fired up.
Yeah, a lot of talking, right? Smiles, clapping, just big energy here as McCage able to return fire. She brings some energy for her side as well.
Yeah, you never count out a Molly McCage. She is one of the veterans, not only in volleyball in general, but here at Athletes Unlimited on part of the PEC Player Executive Committee. A lot.
And the ace.
Right on cue, Molly. We talk you up, we tell how valuable you are, and you get us an ace. And it's a dribbler. Middle on middle violence.
You hate to see it, right, Key?
I mean, depends what side of the ball you're on. You love to see it if you're the server.
Oh, I love that reaction.
Interesting, though, that all of a sudden she gets subbed out. Wild. Molly just snuck out. Yeah, she just snuck that serve in before she was, maybe she was supposed to come out.
And the tip is there. I think you'd want to try and keep a hot hand there from the service line if you could. I know it was a dribbler, but still.
I was going to say, I think it might be something they discussed beforehand. All right, Molly will come out for Taylor in the serve, but she probably just forgot, went back to serve, and then realized, oop, I was supposed to trade out. But she'll take an extra couple of points, though.
10-9 lead for Member Mene, and that attack is too long. Give the point to the team in blue, in front now 11-9. And here is Marley Monserrat, time at Florida and UCLA. 30 assists last time out. Sky high dig there on the pass over. Thomas Ayala, the touch off of Member Mene, and the point to Abercrombie.
That's the first point we've seen out of her, but she was hugely influential in the last match. She was one of the top scorers for Member Mene. Need to find that, or excuse me, for Abercrombie. Need to find that again.
Kingdon Risha with a blast, and too hot for Hens. Now 12-10. Good back and forth battle here to open up the first set between these two. Second match of the day. Week 3, Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball. Quick set to the middle, and Paige knows exactly what to do with that ball. Quick strike.
Love that change of direction as well. They know they've got a free ball here, and you can see Hanline kind of fronting her middle, expecting that to go to Paige, but a beautiful turn.
Short serve there, almost caught them off guard. Instead, the defense cleans it up for Abercrombie, the captain herself up front.
That's pretty much a picture-perfect right side block. Hands over, arms over, nowhere near the net.
Here's Johnson, turn back. Member Mene gets a piece of the block. Vanderweider blocks everywhere. To the middle, and that's out.
Already this blue side looking like the connection is on, more so than it was in that first match. Again, Monserrat hasn't played with Maddie Kingdon Rochelle, hasn't played with Member Mene, has not played with Johnson.
That's an ace. Handline.
Okay, Kayla Handline. Finding pretty good connection there with her.
14-12 now. Back to Abercrombie. Handline keeps that alive. Back row. Beautifully done from Thomas Ayala. The changeup drops in. (14-13). Member Mene, they fell to De La Cruz Mejia 72-64 on Friday. It was Abercrombie over Drews, 75-68. So chance here for the team in gold and black to go 2-0 as Page will serve. Monserrat, the dump, crafty. And that gets us to 15. Member Mene rejuvenated here on this Sunday. 15-13. They take the lead at the break. Marley Monserrat finding an open space. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is fueled by Gatorade. Welcome back to Arizona, where member Mene leading Abercrombie 15-13 early on here in the first. Let's welcome in the third member of our team, Savannah Collins.
Well, Alicia Childress is an AU veteran. She's been a part of this league since the beginning, and what she describes as the beauty of AU is that nothing is guaranteed, especially a starting spot. But hey, changes can happen. So leading up to this week, when she had her first start of the season, she was plugged into these teams. She has coaching experience, so she was trying to bring to the table that experience that she has, helping her team make adjustments, helping her team get better throughout the match from what she saw on the sideline until her moment on Friday night. Look at these stats: 40 assists, 10 digs, 3 blocks because of that huge presence she brings at the net as the tallest setter this season. She and Brittany Abercrombie cross pass in a national team gym, and her specialty was setting her hitters overhead. And Brittany knew that she was getting experience and the type of setter who could facilitate to the Gold Squad this week.
Alicia Childress, as you mentioned, Savannah, one of the veterans, not only for Athletes Unlimited, but she's been playing pro since 2010. She's been in Brazil, Poland, Puerto Rico, Italy, Turkey. I mean, some of the best leagues in the world. Add that with her coaching experience with USA and Stanford, and she's one of the top picks. For me, I would have grabbed her as a setter early, so it was fascinating to me the first 2 weeks that she was brought on as a backup.
And we just saw an athlete she coached, Morgan Hentz, was an assistant with Childress at Stanford. Hentz, the libero on that 2019 NCAA championship team. As we're back to live action, and the block is big there from Abercrombie. You're right, all that experience.
Yeah.
And again, though, we talked about the humility all these players need to have. You may not be in the role you think you should be in right away, or maybe you will, and everyone kind of finds their spot here. Childress an example of that.
100%. How cool is that she and Hentz now on the same team, the same court at the same time? Love it.
Member Mene, big block and a let's go. That appears to be spring-loaded. When she launches off the floor.
I mean, she's so physical, so athletic, but she, better than anyone, knows that ball is going to Molly McCage. We saw just a couple of days ago the connection between Alicia and Molly was really on, so perfect timing to stop it.
A service error there from member Mene. Remember, our point totals as well, so that'll give you a -8. That's the give and take here of AU, right? The big effort on the defensive end, a block, a +12 moments ago from Mene, but then a -8 on the service error. It all gets tabulated into that leaderboard we've shown you from time to time. Big wind up, bigger block. Looking to the outside, Thomas Ayalara, that is in on the cross-court strike.
I love that we're starting to see more and more out of her. She was a little quiet in the first weeks. Now she's really coming into her own. That's such a sharp angle.
And for the Temi Thomas Ayalara fans, they've got to love what they're seeing here. As starting to get in the mix a bit more, as you alluded to, waiting for a bit of that breakout moment.
And it's tough. You only get a few opportunities. If you're sitting the bench and you get your chance on the court, you really have to show what you can do. Just a couple of errors will stick in people's memory all season long. It's only 5 weeks.
Abercrombie now goes up for the first time in this set, 17-16. And then a whistle against Member Mene and give the point to Abercrombie.
I think this is going to be an important piece of the puzzle. If that McCage and Childress connection continues, they're a strong side to stop.
4 in a row for Abercrombie, but Willow Johnson stops that run. Again, taking flight and just the accuracy to find that back corner cross court.
Yeah, and Willow is someone who doesn't like to shy away from the volleyball, from being a big part of the offense. You know, she's a confidence player, and she said she spoke to Betty De La Cruz before the match, who said, don't think about it, just do it. Sounds like a Nike commercial, but Willow Johnson taking advice from the best.
19-17. Remember Mene was up 6-2 way back when, early in this set. And Abercrombie's turned the beat around here, taking their first lead at 17-16, now up to 19-17. Here's Taylor Bruns taking root. Tough one to handle from Member Mene. And that fell in. Kingdon Rischel with a surprised smile on her face that ball found a home. That was just get it across territory, and it's in for a point.
I know, I'm watching her face as well. She looks more surprised than anyone that landed between two players, but hey, sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty.
To the outside, Abercrombie. That's tough stuff.
I'm watching the timing of the blockers there, because Abercrombie's one of those hitters that is so hard to block, and there's for so many reasons. She's high, she's athletic, she hits angles, but also the blockers were on the way down by the time she's contacting.
Has that hang time.
Yeah.
Johnson can hang as well. Rebuffed here. Kingdon Rischel, the tip.
All right, we're starting to see a couple of patterns emerge here. Tips are falling on Abercrombie's side. Any of the teams, they're going to play, I think Orange is the last team they have to play. They have to clean that up before tomorrow.
20-19. Member Mene. A touch is the call, and a point to the team in blue. We're tied at 20 here in the first. 40 points at stake for everyone on the court here, whoever can pick up the win in set one. Kingdon Rischel serving. Back set, Abercrombie. The dig is there. Monzere across the way, a touch again. 21-20, Member Mene pulls back in front. A three-point run has given them the lead back. A couple of recent points here. Blocks have gotten a piece, not the whole thing, on these Member Mene strikes. Back set Abercrombie, and that's wide. Ooh. No, they say in, excuse me.
I was gonna say, that would have been a crucial call to go the other way, because All right, so instead of 22-20, it's now 21 apiece, but that would be a very different looking score.
The reaction from Member Mene led me to believe it was it went their way. Not the case. 21 all here. Johnson, big dig there from Velez Agosto to keep it alive. And it results in a point for Member Mene.
That's huge. That's a huge coverage. We talked a lot about this in the first match. Teams covering each other, covering their hitters. If you have a big swinger like Johnson, you've got to allow her to swing away by securing that cover around her.
22-21 going down to the wire here in the first. Abercrombie with the tip. They'll punch it across. Monserrat fights that one off. Back to Abercrombie. Monserrat all over the court trying to keep that ball alive. Ended up with an open space right in the middle for Abercrombie.
I love the scrappiness out of Monserrat here. There's that final play, and Abercrombie saying, you know what? You've been tipping all over my court. Let me just give you a little piece of your own medicine.
22-22 right now. Member Mene goes down to grab that one. Kington Rischel with a blast. 23-22.
And yet no timeouts called. I wonder if we will see something coming soon because things are getting down to the wire here.
Getting late in this first, 23-22. Vanderweider, that'll help. Not a back up at 23.
We haven't seen one team just be dominated by one player. That's what I like about this, is we're going back and forth, but also every single piece of the puzzle is getting a little bit involved.
Abercrombie now, overpass. Monserrat, not the tallest player, fights him off at the net and brings up set point in the first.
That one's an ego play as well. Bruised on one side, pumped up on the other.
24-23, set point for Member Mene. The captain will serve here. Overpass. Johnson, there it is! Member Mene takes the first. 25-23, Willow Johnson closes the book on our opener. 40 points apiece to everyone in blue. And Member Mene took a big lead early. They watched Abercrombie erase it completely. They fell behind by 2. The resolve of the squad blue pays off. They're up early. Welcome back to Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball, fueled by Gatorade. Second set on the way. Team Member Mene picking up the first with a strong effort, 25-23. Key Lekator and her squad, good bounce back after falling first time out on Friday.
Yeah, they came out with a lot of energy, and they had all that energy on Friday, but it was channeled into one person. Lekator had 18 points on Friday, almost double the next closest person. Right now, she's tied up with Maddie Kingdon for 6, and that's what makes her so strong, is that she has that all-around play, but also she has players backing her up, so she's not having to do it all alone. When she does, though, those kind of blocks look so good on her.
Here's a look at the stats after one. You also talked about getting the others involved, right? Kingdon Rischel, Willow Johnson, and covering for those hitters. Do you feel like we've seen that through that first set from Member Mene, where they're getting the coverage they need on the attack?
Yeah, and that comes down to just gameplay, knowing each other, kind of that little bit of familiarity from day 1, night 1, until day 2, night 2. They have that little extra training together. They now know what they want out of each other. One thing that I'm looking at the stats here, the service errors, Abercrombie hasn't given up anything in the serve. So despite having 0 freebies from the end line, Member Mene are still able to put over the end line there with 2. They had 2 errors of their own, but yet still coming out on top.
Impressive stuff. A great comeback from them as well after they got down. Get closer to the action with your free Unlimited Club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Sign up now at auprovolleyball.com. Key Michael, Greg Meskel, Savannah Collins along the way, here with you in Arizona. Set 2 coming up. Team member Mene, Team Abercrombie. And for Brittany Abercrombie, again, it's not as if they weren't right there, but it's been quite literally a road paved with gold here for Abercrombie and company. They've been so good. She's won so many MVPs, and helping us speak to that, let's pass it over to Savannah Collins.
Well, listening into that gold huddle, they are focused on making adjustments to the specific type of offensive assets that this blue team has. Between Willow Johnson, Maddie Kingdom, Rochelle, and Lekator member Mene, not only do they specialize in very different things, but they attack completely differently. So they were talking a lot about just being able to use the block, use the defense, tailored to those specific hitters, and then the back row attack too. That was the one that they felt like they really needed to adjust on, because they know this blue team is going to continue to go to that throughout this game. But they said, hey, more than anything, let's come in here and have a sense of urgency, and on our side, be determined to put the ball away.
Thanks, Savannah. As we get set for our second set, a look at our live leaderboard. You see De La Cruz Mejia up front there. Abercrombie lost that first, so couldn't pick up a set win there to try and climb the leaderboard as you get a look at the rest of the athletes here in AU Pro Volleyball as we're underway now. Here's Abercrombie. So tough to stop. The captain, the lefty from Carlsbad out of USC. Quick set to the middle. Excellent help there from member Mene to keep that alive. Back to Abercrombie. They were ready this time. Monserrat, but the overpass is put down from Temi Thomas Ayalara. Now time for a chair chat. And we welcome in here from Team Abercrombie, Taylor Bruns-Tegan. Taylor, thanks for stopping by. What was the conversation like between set 1 and 2 after your squad made a nice rally but ended up on the short end of that one?
Yeah, we just talked about how we feel we definitely have more in the tank. We didn't really have a sense of urgency to really just go out there and get it. And to Blue's credit, they are playing great, but we know that if we up our game, then we're going to be in a good spot.
Now, Taylor, Savannah told us, our little birdie in the huddle, told us you're talking specifically about how to shut down players. Obviously, you've got Maddie Kingdon on one side, you've got Willow Johnson on the other. What are you focusing on specifically on those two players on how to stop them?
Yeah, well, they've been pretty successful in the back row, so we just talked about making sure we get 2 blockers up on them as much as humanly possible. I mean, they're great hitters that have a lot at their disposal, so the more hands they see in front of them, the better chance we've got of slowing them down.
And then if you look back to Friday, you all got the win there over Team Drews. What do you think went so well in that match, and how do you kind of replicate that here for sets 2 and 3?
Yeah, in that match, we were just really consistent. I think we all just were playing at a steady level, where Purple and I think Blue also are teams that, you know, they can really get on a roll, but then they can also kind of dig themselves into a hole. So we just try to stay consistent, stay us, and it worked out the other day. Hopefully it works out today too.
Well, so far so good here in the second off of the 4-1 start. Taylor, thanks for stopping by.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All right, Taylor Bruns-Tegan, Team Abercrombie. Here in the second, and remember Mene getting a point back, so 4-2 now. Consistency, again, key, these are cliche, they're fundamentals, but so critical, especially with the changing rosters, the quick development time. If you can be consistent in your role, it can be a game changer.
Yeah, it's so tough to be consistent as well. I feel like that's something we talk about just in general, volleyball specific. You want to be at a high level all the time, but you're going to have ups and downs. That's just the nature of sport. So how you handle that, how you respond. For example, Willow Johnson, she has a good night tonight. That's what people are going to remember rather than those low numbers from Friday. Great rally here.
Hence will keep it going. Off the tape, and that falls in. Vanderweider says that was down. Officials agree, and Abercrombie gets the last word on a lengthy rally.
I mean, I'm out of breath just watching it. But Vanderweider is someone as well that has to find a way to get more points involved, get more into the offense, and she does it, just sneaking one past Willow there.
Good hustle there again from Monserrat. Service error, meanwhile, from Paige. Five, 3. And here's Johnson to serve now. They go quick set to McCage. She thinks there was a touch. Up referee says no. We may see a challenge here.
Interesting. I thought in real time, I thought I saw maybe a little in the backcourt, a little slap.
I was surprised, yeah, they didn't think about a challenge there. The old ball don't lie. Serve right into the net.
There it is. I'm watching Molly's face the whole time. I mean, it's funny though, because they only have 2 challenges, so you have to be really kind of sparing with it. You don't want to just throw it away unless you're 100% sure.
Here's Abercrombie, who's been on an absolute tear in the MVP rankings. Remember, Mene off the block.
I was watching that in real time. Molly's gone. Watch her. And she gets a little stuck there. Alicia Glass maybe expecting the ball to come in. She's watching Kingdon. And that's the trouble when there are so many weapons coming at one time.
6-5, Abercrombie in the lead. Some heat on that serve from Ember Mene. McCage on the move. Johnson, and able to power that past the block, and a little finger wag there from Fader.
McCage on the move. I like that. I feel like we need to put that on a t-shirt or make it a podcast or something.
That sounds good. It's actually Molly's travel podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
She goes around different cities, but we could also make it a t-shirt here.
Yeah. Hey, she's been content creating like the best of them recently, so I'm here for it.
6-all now. Reaching back for that one, Vanderweider. Across the way now, and the block. It's more Molly in one spot, turning back the attempt up front.
Molly on the move, gets that ball stuffed back down in the right direction. That is the Molly McCage we know and we love.
Team Abercrombie, just like in the first, right? They got themselves in a bit of a hole, dug their way out. Now in front here, 7-6. That's the 100th career solo block. Congrats to Molly McCage, first all-time in Athletes Unlimited.
Yeah, Molly's had a fantastic career with Athletes Unlimited so far. She's in her 4th season. I remember playing with her, in fact, in season 1, and she's got the same intensity. She told me after that season, I think I might be done, might be time to retire, but I'm so glad she did not decide that. I'm so glad she stuck to it because she's having a great time.
Yeah, it's worked out okay.
Yeah.
There's a touch ruled on that attack from Abercrombie. Get the point to Temi Thomas-Ayala. You mentioned some other accolades for Molly McCage. She was the AU Blocker of the Year last season, and she's consistently been in the hunt on that leaderboard. 4th overall in 1 year. Just a really, really talented player. Good save there by Paige. Thomas-Ayala. From the back row, shot out of a cannon was Member Mene. But it ends up being a point for Abercrombie.
Let's go, middles D. Molly with the extra smile. Watch this, bam! Pops it off the chest, forces the air. That one counts for double in my book.
That won't appear in any other stat you find, but in Key's book.
Yeah, middle stats. The book of middle.
The book of middle. 9-7, make it 9-8, excuse me, Member Mene. Getting an important point back here in the second. They took the first. It's been a really evenly matched match thus far. Good back and forth in the opener. Likewise here in the second. Childress puts it up for Abercrombie. They're ready for it. Thomas-Ayala, that's covered up well. Hence, Childress, Abercrombie. That's long. Abercrombie, I think, questioning maybe a touch there.
I think we will have a challenge indeed. She thought she saw something different. It's so tough from where we're sitting. We're so far from that angle, but she knows her touch better than anyone else.
Also difficult because that attack almost ate up the line judge, and so they weren't in a position to see what was going on.
Just protecting his own face.
Which is a completely fair response. And then the up referee is also screened out a little bit as well. And so in or out is the challenge here. See all the different things that can be challenged. And as Key mentioned earlier, 2 challenges per set. That looks a little long right there.
Yeah.
And we never should have doubted the line judge doing 2 things at once, getting out of the way and making the accurate call.
100%. Well, he's got to be right because, you know, AI is going to steal his job pretty soon. So, well, you and I as well. I don't know, you know, we shouldn't laugh about it. We're all out of a job.
Robots are coming for all of us.
Yep.
That's on Key's latest podcast.
It is, exactly.
Hence, the tip. It's there. Kingdon Rischel.
All right, so tips were falling pretty heavily in set number 1. I think that was something we noted that Abercrombie's side was going to have to pay attention to and kind of clean that up.
That was the first one I think we've seen in this.
Yeah,
in
exactly. I was going to say they've gone away from it a bit.
10-9 lead from Ember Mene. It's Johnson with a big wind-up, tools the block, and she'll pick up the point for the team in blue.
That's much more her wheelhouse. Johnson doesn't love a tip. She loves a big, heavy swing. She wants to use her arm, her power, her strength. That is what is her go-to, just off the block and out of bounds.
But there are some numbers for Monserrat. Abercrombie from the back row. That's going to fall in over the block. As Handline and Kingdon Rischel were there, just couldn't stop it all the way.
3 blockers. I think Willow was even a part of that one. Abercrombie, one of the better attackers, not only in Athletes Unlimited, but possibly in that opposite spot at all, because she's so efficient. She is so good at going high over the block, around the block.
11-10, Member Mene here in the second. Also keep an eye on our total match score. They lead overall 36-33. That's how you win the match here in AU. Overall combined score after 3 sets. And so we'll look at that, especially as we get into our 3rd set, to understand the number to hit, the magic number, if you will, to confirm victory. Johnson, again, all gas, no brakes when it comes to Willow Johnson.
Full throttle all day long. And you know what? That was a perfect ball in by Valeza Gostoso. Great timing, great speed. That's exactly what Willow wants. When that ball is good, give her the speed.
Service error there. So give a point back. And here's Temi Thomas Ayalara. Played at Northwestern and Wisconsin. They're targeting Johnson. It's working.
Yeah, feed the hot hand. Right now it's Johnson. And we talked about how she spoke to Marley Monserrat yesterday. They haven't played together. It's their first time. They're learning each other on week 3. And they worked on that speed yesterday in training. That is exactly the way to make the most out of Athletes Unlimited. Make those adjustments in real time. You don't have a whole season to do it. You don't have months to get the reps. You have just a couple of adjustments in that one training that you have between game 1 and game 2.
9 kills so far for Willow Johnson. You really have to microwave that chemistry, as you spoke about. Change here, Allison Mayfield is into the match for Team Abercrombie, making her debut in AU this season out of Kansas. The dump, good to go.
H-O-T-T-O-G-O. You can take that dump, hot to go. Marley Monserrat, not even a little look, not even a little sneak peek, didn't give anything away.
Just trusted it would be there. It was. 14-13. Abercrombie off the block. Last touch, member Mene will tie it up again, this time at 14. This is looking very similar to our first set. Back in the first, member Mene went up 15-13. And now Abercrombie, they're the first to 15 on the receive error from member Mene. But it's another close one here in AU Pro Volleyball. Abercrombie up 1 in the second. Go back to our first match of the day. We're key. Kat Bell, she shined bright. 15 kills. De La Cruz Mejia picking up a big win, and Kat Bell, no surprise, our MVP won.
And this is why we talk about opposites being so crucial, and why you're looking at someone like Abercrombie, who's top in points, and Kat Bell is delivering that piece on the right side. That is exactly what you want out of an opposite. That is what Willa Johnson is trying to deliver for her side on the blue today.
And here's a closer look at our Match 1 MVPs, brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. Bell in at 1. Claire Hoffman, big impact from her in our Match 1 earlier today. And then Tori Dixon, wasn't sure if she was going to go, Key, and ended up playing a major role up front.
I mean, those are actually a few surprises. You don't see Betty on there, but Claire Hoffman, someone we said wasn't even going to be that offensive, certainly was. She had 13 points. Tori Dixon, like you mentioned, had a little something with her finger, weren't sure she was going to get the start, and then that's the result. Get MVP.
And here's our overall league leaders. When you take a peek at MVP points, Brittany Abercrombie, she's won MVP every week, so she's clearly ahead of the list.
Yeah, and again, she just puts herself onto teams where she is leading the way, not only in point scoring, but also in leadership capabilities, also in communication. She brings that kind of calm presence. And when you look at who you want to vote as an MVP, yes, of course, it has a lot to do with those tangible things like points and score and stats, but also the person that you like playing beside, the person who is calm under storm.
Key Michaels, Savannah Collins, Greg Meskel here with you in Mesa, Arizona, and Mayfield got a piece of that. Talking about leaderboards, just with her work thus far, Brittany Abercrombie has slid past Betty De La Cruz Mejia on our overall tally. It's tight, just 18 points separate the two. So if Abercrombie, as you see here, can get a win, get a match win, add some more stat points, she can widen that gap between herself and Betty here going into tomorrow's matches. Ace. Lecator loving it.
Lecator, we talked about her taking the match into her own hands on Friday. That's how she does it. She has all the weapons, one of them being this absolutely killer serve. She's surprising herself there, but that's perfection on the end line.
7th ace on the season for member Mene. Off the block. And the last touch off of the team in blue. Give the point to Team Abercrombie. Demi Thomas Ayalara returning. And here's Lindsay Vanderweide. Long pass, and the defense had all day. Molly set up shop.
That feels so good. I mean, I'm watching it in slow motion in my head. They're literally in sync. They're doing some kind of synchronized swimming dance at the net between the two of them. That's exactly what you want to see.
And all the props to that block, but that pass also was in the air for a long time, and they had plenty of time to get in position
exactly
and control at the net. 18-16 Abercrombie and a 3-point run here. They'll give one back on the service error, make it 18-17. You see, for the moment there, we were even up overall. Now 42-41, member Mene. If this back and forth hold, it's setting up a fun third set here between these two.
Yep, 41-42, couldn't be much closer.
Vader. Thomas Ayalara has to shuffle her feet, get in front of that one. Johnson denied. But the tip is there. Up front, it's Kayla Handline, the Northern Iowa grad, putting it down.
Great cover by Johnson. She had to pop that ball up after having taken a swing. I mean, those are the little scrappy little parts of the play that don't necessarily show up on the stats board, but can be crucial.
Another service error there from member Mene. -8 there individually for Thader, and of course giving a point over to Abercrombie. 19-18 now. 40 total points for each athlete on the winning side available after set 2. Don't forget 60 points in addition for the match. To the outside, the windup is there. The dig from Vanderweide, but could not control the heat from Kingdon Rischel.
And it's interesting to see that substitution. Taylor Bruns taking her right in there in that serve. We just had her in the chair chat talking about consistency and how the things that her team were trying to do to slow down Abercrombie's side in the last match.
Overpass, nice job there by Childress to clean up a tough situation. Abercrombie getting an important point back to go ahead now, 20-19. Seen a few setters here, not afraid to hold their own at the net.
Oh yeah.
Against some of the bigs. Johnson, a rare soft touch, hence out of nowhere to keep it alive. Tip here, and a violation, and give the point to member Mene.
I'm having a look first and foremost at this pancake from Hens, absolutely laying out, and it's unfortunate that the gold side weren't able to get a swing on that. Could have been a missed opportunity.
20 all here in the second. Abercrombie, the captain, rebuffed.
Have a look at that block from Lector, and again, kind of an undersized player, but plays so large.
Listed at 5'7", but can jump through the roof. Dig there. Alez Augusto. Hence now. For Abercrombie, got a little too much on it. It's long on the attack error, and the point to member Mene. 22-20. They've also pushed ahead by 4 in our overall match score.
So that's a couple of errors there at the end that could actually be a big differential as we get down the business end.
Childress, Thomas Ayalara. Johnson down the line, and they'll say that's off the mark for Willow Johnson. So Team Abercrombie hanging around here in the second.
And I thought I saw member Monet run immediately over, looking for a challenge, looking for a touch. Willow called her off, said, no touch, just an error by me, my bad.
Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Save that challenge, we might need it.
Exactly, you definitely will, considering how tight things are right now. Only use it when 100% necessary.
22-21. Team in blue took the first, looking to go up 2-0 here. Johnson, that one's inbounds. Cross court, went the other way, and it worked for Willow Johnson.
I think it was Lecator, member Monet, who passed that first ball, and she was, when she played in last week's showdown between Betty and Abercrombie, she was a target. And she's continued to be today, but holding her own.
Quick set to the middle, big hammer down. That was Jenna Rosenthal coming on. Haven't called her name much yet today, and the middle from Wisconsin delivers. (23-22). More Willow Johnson. Overpass. Lecator knows what to do with that ball. And brings up set point here in the second, 24-22.
The energy, the enthusiasm, the facial expressions, the hand slaps. I mean, everything on member Monet's entire being is saying, we have urgency. We need to finish this set as quick as possible.
How could you not be fired up
I know.
playing with Lecator?
I know. I want to get back on the court.
Yeah,
Give me
that's
some knee
jacked.
pads.
We'll get a challenge here. Facilitator Dave Rubio, the legend from right here in Arizona, longtime head coach at U of A, offering some feedback on the type of challenge.
We're looking for a net touch. Ooh, I see it. I see what you see.
Yes.
A little cheeky smile there from Mr. Rubio. Can't see it on your screen because he's facing us, but I like it.
That was a smile of a man that saw something and it was validated.
Yeah.
And that was just fingertips there of Lecator in the net, but enough. And
hey, it's enough.
So now 23 all. Oh. Overpass there. The block. Vanderwater on the move. Johnson. That goes long. Now hang on, because member Mene is looking for a touch. As Team Abercrombie quickly has stolen the momentum. They're up 24-23. They'll have set point, but we will take a look here to see if there's a touch.
And interesting, because you made the point earlier when Willow Johnson said, no, don't challenge that. And you said, they might need it later. Here is exactly when they're going to need it. The tables have turned. Now she's looking for the fingertips of one of these two blockers.
Got Vanderwater and McCage. Does it go right between Vanderwater's hands?
I'm not sure how it didn't touch them, but by some physical miracle, it doesn't look like she got it. Trying to look at the angle as to where the ball actually went, and you're right, I think it just went, just a bit of air, the tiniest airstream between the ball and the fingertips. Molly is sure she didn't touch it. She's got the face of a confident player.
Vanderwater looking as confident to you?
Not quite as. If her nails were a little bit longer, then they probably would have clipped it.
And an unsuccessful challenge. Disapproving smirks from the team in blue. Vanderwater says, sorry, didn't touch it.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry. Set point here in the second. Overpass to McCage. It's a scramble. Abercrombie dug out there. Johnson with the hustle. Out of play, just off target, and that's how the second ends. An attack error for member Mene, and Team Abercrombie climbs out of the hole once again. This time they take it and earn a big second set victory, 25-23. And check out that match total, Key. Knotted up at 48. Stick around, we've got a big third set on the way right here, AU Pro Volleyball. Third set on the way, and we are as tied could be. 1-1 after 2, 48 all in our total match score. Big third set on the way. Now let's go into the game with the U.S. Air Force. Hear more from Lindsay Vanderweide.
Good, I need to work on that. Thank you, Brett. Pinky out. Yes. Have you never seen Gold Member or Awesome Powers? Everybody get pinky out. Good. Peculiar. Perfect! I think that antenna is slightly inside. The antenna. No, it was before that. I didn't hit the antenna. I hit the tape. I'm allowed to do that. Good, I'm here. Great job. Nice. Good, yeah. Come on. Nice set. Good, perfectly.
Okay, first of all, two things. One, blaming the antenna, blaming the equipment. But second of all, I don't know if everyone at home knows this, but most of the teams will have a new name. Every time it gets drafted, they'll give themselves a name, something to do with the color. And gold must be the gold members. That's why we saw them with a photo with their pinkies up. I don't know if you saw that after the last game, but that's one of my favorite parts, is finding out those little insider details about each team.
They clearly love gold.
I mean, who doesn't? Yeah. I'm a gold girly.
Stats through 2. Again, we know the points, a deadlock, kills, a little bit of a disparity there. What jumps out to you, Key?
I'm looking first and foremost at the service errors down there at the bottom. They're highlighted for you. 6 errors from member Monet, and those could be the differences, right? That could be what makes or breaks the team. 2 of those errors coming in the second set, or excuse me, 4 of those errors coming in the second set. So when it was so close like that, they gave up just a few too many points, and that put it over the edge for Abercrombie.
And now we go on to our third set, all even at 48. Johnson picks up where she left off. Big swing to open up the third as we take a look at our live leaderboard. Climbs still to be made for teams in our match here. Member Mene, Abercrombie, win points. Remember, Team Abercrombie gets 40 points for picking up that last set. There's another 40 in this third. There's 60 for the match. A lot of points out there to be gathered up. The block was there. Mayfield just a little bit better. Johnson and Handline kind of look at each other and say, we were there, just could not totally control that ball.
Yeah, and Mayfield getting the starting nod over Tammy Thomas-Ailara. Interesting change there for the gold side.
Lekator rising. Stuff. This time Handline is ready. Got beat last time, cleaned it up this go round.
Maybe the antenna was crooked again.
It's probably the antenna. Yeah. Reaching all the way out.
No, that's all Handline with the inside hand. And again, I'm always hyping up the middles. In that particular skill, all it is dropping that inside hand, and she did that so well.
Hence gets low. Abercrombie. Back row. Not how they drew it up, but Abercrombie salvages that ball. Monterey, quick middle set, and Thader all about it. 7-year pro Emily Thader, France, Germany, year 1 here in AU.
Quick and quicker. Love the angle on it too. She knows where block is in front of her, goes the other way.
3-1 start from Member Mene. Johnson. Abercrombie tried to go cross court. That was well covered by Monserrat. But they go long, or rather wide, on the attack.
I like the way that this team from Member Mene is serving. They're aggressive from the end line right now. And we talked about them maybe having a few more errors than Abercrombie's side, but that's why.
That works. We've seen the craftiness of our setters looking for opportunities, and Marley Monserrat finds one for the point there. Fans, the AU Pro Sports Shop is now on Instagram. It's the best way to stay up to date on new arrivals, limited edition items, and our exclusive merch offering. Head to AU Pro Shop to follow and connect. Played off the net. Member Mene. The dig and an overpass there by Mayfield. Back row. Hence controls it. Vanderweide. Johnson. Childress ready. Tough pass for Abercrombie. And that's going to work for Team Abercrombie. Again, not what they had in mind exactly, but it pays off. An overpass there that they were the beneficiary.
I just want to revisit quickly that we have an @AU Pro Shop Instagram handle.
Yes.
It has its own Instagram handle.
You got to have a place where people can get the gear.
The merch shop is stepping up its content game. I like it. All right, merch shop, I'll follow you.
Some awesome merch here, by the way, that we've seen. If you just take a walk around the arena here.
All right, we're looking for potentially the foot crossing underneath the net. That's what everyone seems to be pointing at, or are they pointing at the actual net?
Well, you'll see Abercrombie's foot does come down on that line.
It does, but it doesn't go all the way over. So the rule, as I understand it, is your foot has to cross entirely over the line. However, if she touches the net, yeah, the whole foot has to go over, but she doesn't touch the net as far as I can see.
You understood, though, if anyone saw at least what we just saw, it's enough to say, hey, let's look at it.
Yeah.
And challenge.
I'll look at it for sure.
These are such quick plays, too, to try and make those calls in the moment. Gathering everyone's collective memory of what they think happened.
Yeah. And it's interesting to differentiate between an end line foot touch error. You only have to touch it a little bit. Even on that backcourt attack, you touch it a little bit. But for the center line, if you want to add a fault at the center line, your whole foot has to go over, which is interesting to me anyway.
So you have to be aggressively over that line. Well, Abercrombie's in disbelief.
Well, she definitely didn't touch the net, and they might have a little look at that in the replay later on. Maybe they still see something I didn't see.
So the call goes in favor of Member Mene. You see the points shuffle. They go in front now 5-2. Abercrombie, the look of disbelief. She'll try the tip here. Member Mene ready, and now can load it up. That one goes off the touch. So a touch there in Abercrombie. And another point here from Member Mene, starting to build some momentum now. 6-2, 54-50 overall. Taylor Johnson serving, 11 kills already, but it's Abercrombie returning the favor. McCage up front, getting an important point back here for Abercrombie. Again, we're in the third set. The overall match total is very much up for grabs. This is critical to come out on top in this set. Thader, and she's off target.
Middle for middle. I like Monserrat using Thader there, just over-rotating ever so slightly. But that's the key to a good middle, right? McCage's ball was a little low. She still made something of it. these middles high level.
Member Mene into the antenna. And the point to the team in blue. 7-4. Again, she generates such energy when she's rising to that ball.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? How do you translate that energy from your jump into your attack, which is all the mechanics and the science behind it I don't completely understand, but she's transferring that sort of vertical energy into her powerful swing. Oh, there it is. It was the antenna.
It was the antenna.
I knew it. I knew it.
The antenna off.
Van der Weide knew it.
We'll try and get that lined up. That's how much power she brings. She could knock the antenna clear off the net.
What did the antenna do to you, Lekator? Just bullying it, really. She's just in the zone. That's really what it is.
Doesn't have time for the antenna's feelings, that's
Zero.
for sure.
Zero time.
7-4. 3-point edge here. Whoa. You hear the thud off of Van der Weide. .53 miles an hour on that Lekator serve, and then right back Fader. Up close and personal.
Fader gets to capitalize on this. Big block on Van der Weide, but it all starts with some aggressive serving, and that is exactly what translates into a confident middle block as well. Lekator in the zone.
Bringing the heat from the service line. And that is going to sail out of play, and an ace. 59 miles an hour.
That's huge serving power. I mean, the top serve, fastest in women's volleyball, is Melissa Vargas with 70 miles an hour, so she's right up there.
Unlimited Pro Volleyball is fueled by Gatorade.
Being an inspiration to girls who want to be professional volleyball players later in life is such an honor, just because when I was that little, I looked up to college volleyball players and Olympic volleyball players, but there really weren't those professional volleyball players very visible in the US.
I just see myself in them so much, and just how much I looked up to all my volleyball aspirations as a kid. I wanted to impact the youth. I've always wanted to do that, and so to do it through something I love, which is volleyball, it means so much to me.
To be in my hometown in front of all of these girls from Phoenix and who can see me and what I've been able to do with my career, I hope I can just show them that it's possible.
The opportunity to play for Athletes Unlimited, I think it just gives us a lot of power to be role models for younger girls like ourselves when we were really little, and just say, hey, you can do this, you can make a living being a professional volleyball player, and just give girls like that motivation that they can go out and achieve their dream.
Starlings Volleyball USA believes every girl deserves the opportunity to play volleyball regardless of socioeconomic background or level of play. Athletes Unlimited and our athletes seek to amplify that mission to widen the pool of participation within the sport. Starlings squad treated to a good one here in our second match of the day. It's a 100-point set here in the third because you've got the 60 for the win. We're tied 1-1. You've got the 40 for the set win. So one side is about to get a Scrooge McDuck vault-sized amount of points here.
That's the visual I needed.
Into the coins, you get it.
I remember. I was a DuckTales fan. Woo.
9-4, Member Mene in front. Lekator has been bringing some big speed on those serves, but Molly McCage, Molly's on the move again, and comes back with a big point to slow down this Member Mene run.
That's dangerous. When Molly gets back on the move, the blue side is going to have to pay more attention. She's getting that look in her eyes again.
Up to the date leaderboard as we go. Member Mene in at fourth right now, and they get a point right back.
Kingdon Rochelle stepping it up. Already 12 points on the board. Again, she was not super involved in the offense in the last match, and that was one of the question marks I had, how to get her going. Seems like Montserrat has figured out how to unlock her on the outside.
Kingdon Rischel, Johnson, double figure kills. Member Mene right there, closing in on double figures as well for the team in blue. McCage again splits that back row. Lekator said, my fault, that's my ball, but Johnson and Member Mene in that back row watched it fall in between.
And that's what Molly does really well, exactly that. She looks for that space in the defense. She's targeting players that are maybe miscommunicating.
Kingdon Rischel, the soft touch. Hustle there from Abercrombie. Thomas Ilara has returned, puts that across. Kingdon Rischel now off the block. To the outside, and Mayfield comes through, a blast off of Johnson.
I thought that point was going to go the way of Member Mene's team because that tip on Abercrombie to begin, they got her on the ground. We haven't seen a whole lot of tipping directly on her. We've seen the tipping on the gold side, but not directly on her.
Very high pass, but Kingdon Rischel works with it nonetheless, able to power that through the block. Childress and Rosenthal there just could not put it back across.
And we gave you some of Maddie's stats earlier on. She was top scorer in 5 of the 7 matches she's played so far. She's looking to make a run for doing the same again tonight.
Montserrat serving now, 31 assists in this one. Outside of the antenna there on the dig, and that was inadvertent from Velez Agosto. (11-8) here in the third, even 1-1 overall. Everything up for grabs in this third and final. Montserrat back set to Johnson. How many times have we seen that?
Over and over, and again, now it's just rinse and repeat, right? They figured out what's working. Johnson spoke up and said, I need a faster ball when you can, and she's getting it. And she can slice that inside. She can find her angles because she's getting the ball she wants.
4-point edge again. Lekator roll shot, Mayfield ready. Abercrombie pushes it. Kingdon Rushell there. Johnson again.
Confidence is contagious, and it feels that way on the blue side. You're seeing Kingdon Rochelle step up, find her rhythm. Now it's Willow Johnson doing the same, and again, watch where she's targeting. She goes sharp cross, then she goes line, and then changes back again.
Mayfield has an answer. But you're right, Willow Johnson, she's changing up her targets, her locations. It's got the defense guessing now.
Yeah. And I'm going to let that block slide as well because I think she's not focusing on Mayfield. That's not one of her priority hitters.
Lecator, too long. Ember Manet inquiring about a touch. Instead, the point to Abercrombie. Things get a little bit tighter here now. 13-10. Let's pass it over to Savannah Collins.
Well, Kia, I think you said what's going on in this blue team to a T. You said confidence is contagious, and I would say that that energy starts with their captain and Lecator Ember Manet. I asked her, what's the strongest part about your game? It's not her swing. It's not her jump. Topspin serve, it's her energy. She said when she is on the court, it doesn't matter if she's producing, it doesn't help your team unless you're feeding into one another. She said it simply, if I can make the people around me feel something on the court, that's how I know I can get a lot done with that. And what a difference from Friday to today and how this blue team is working together and looks as a unit.
It's so interesting you say that, Savannah, because I spoke to Emily Thader before the match yesterday, and she said something so similar. She said Lecator was born for this role, and it's really coming to fruition here tonight.
Abercrombie had been on a three-point run. Here's Lecator, stuffed, but they'll give a violation to Abercrombie and the point to Ember Manet.
No argument there, no challenge on that one.
Totally agree though with you, Savannah. The energy that Ember Manet brings, right? Lecator herself, it is like she was always meant to be a captain.
Yeah, it's really comfortable in the role.
Abercrombie right back.
The thing about this though is, and this is kind of reminiscent of what we saw in the last set. We saw the blue side looking really calm, excited, kind of relaxed and smiling, but then just slowly but surely, Abercrombie's team just chipped away and got right back in it.
And they are hanging around right now. They are in chip away territory.
Yeah.
Back to Ember Manet, and that one just does not cross, rolls off the tape and out.
I think that might have been called landing in. Hard to tell from where we were sitting, but again, chip away territory, point for point. Now we're back to within 2. This is what they did last time.
Look at the blocks, 15-13. Foreshadowing. Johnson finds that back line again. And she really has got to be making the back line of Abercrombie think. Is she gonna go slice cross court? Is she gonna bring it back to her near side? Where do we go?
And that's Johnson at her best. That is exactly when she's dangerous, when you just don't know.
Now Abercrombie, she works the block. So Brittany Abercrombie, her team's still very much in the hunt here for a win, but from a stat standpoint, it has not been a dominant affair. I wonder if she'll still be in the mix here, but you think about this MVP streak that she's been on 7 in a row coming in. Something to keep an eye on. Post-game, McCage has her eyes on another big block.
Yeah, when you're talking about big players, big moments, Molly McCage puts herself as the top scorer on her side with that big stuff block. Big moments, big players.
Triple digits in her AU career when it comes to blocks. Another big one as we've come to a timeout. Ember Manet leading by just 1 in the overall score and in this third. Now let's go into the game with Emily Thader.
Oh, thank you, AU, for the opportunity. Hi, Mom. Dude, they had me mic'd up, and they were like asking me questions. I'm like, I don't know anything. I don't know what to say. I like did not do it right for sure. I was like, hi, Mom. Hey. Hi. Oh my gosh, your braids. They look so good. I really like them. 7? Yeah. Ooh, baby. What a rip. Let's go. Let's go. Good, good, good. Touch. Up, up, up.
I just want Emily Thader to know she definitely did do it right. This is exactly the point of these mic'd up, so you get a little sneak peek into the players' personalities. Thader saying, I'm not sure I'm supposed to say hi to my mom. Absolutely say hi to your mom. If you ever have the camera on you. Speaking of, hi mom, how are you? Hope you're well in Miami, keeping the weather quiet.
Emily Thader, part of a duo. If we think about the squad in blue, yes, Lekator member Mene, big effort. But as of late, Thader, and then throughout, Willow Johnson.
Yeah, Willow Johnson, the one of the couple players that we called out as having to step things up, and she has done in a big way. 14 points on the board so far, and it's through the kills like this. That faster ball from Montserrat we talked about, she asked for it, she's getting it. She can go cross, over, through the hands, deep corners. She's getting options now. When she goes up to swing, she can make those choices rather than those choices being made for her.
Great stat line there, 14 kills, 8 digs. Another that brings that energy when things are rolling for her. She gets the rest of the team fired up, and it has her team in position for a win here. The Arizona Sports and Entertainment Commission is proud to be a champion of women's athletics, supporting incredible events like Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. They are committed to promoting top-tier sports and events that drive economic impact and unite communities. For more information, visit azsportsent.com. Team Abercrombie serving, the captain here. 16-15, member Mene. Willow Johnson on cue.
I love it. I love seeing a player step up in confidence, and then Montserrat is just going to keep on going back to her. It's working. Hot hand. Any of the above alliterations that you want to use, but Willow Johnson, well, she's having a night.
To put it quite simply, one of the few Arizona natives, Paradise Valley, went to Oregon, as we mentioned. Abercrombie returning fire with McCage. Every time it seems like Abercrombie needs something, Molly McCage provides that lift.
Yeah, I mean, go to your veteran, right? And again, we know that connection between Alicia Childress and her is on. I like that she chooses middle in difficult spots.
17-16, Thader, a blast. Back row too hot to handle. 18-16.
It's closer than it feels.
Yes.
I kind of feel as though all the momentum is on the blue side, but Abercrombie's team is right there.
Now, if you took the scoreboard away, you'd think that member Mene was up 7 or 8 points.
Yeah.
Hence, Abercrombie. The dump try, they're ready. Back set here, McCage. Free ball now for the Gold Squad. Across the way, and the cross-court blast from Mayfield finds a home. 18-17.
Big swing from Mayfield. Again, the blockers aren't really paying a lot of attention to her. I think their strategy is focus on McCage, focus on the big swing of Abercrombie, maybe just giving up that 1.5 steps to Mayfield. That's just enough, though. She's a good enough attacker that she can get something done out there.
The old make someone else beat you, and Mayfield happy to step into that role. Runs taken route on to serve, and that falls in and finds a home. That's the second ball we've seen from Kingdon Rishel, where she just kind of put it across, and it found an empty place on the court.
I think the blockers pulled their hands, and the defenders weren't ready for that. Again, goes back to that communication issue. Maybe if these teams had a little more time to really sort of dial those things in, those balls wouldn't fall.
19-17, Montserrat serving. The block prepared for Mayfield this time.
Yeah, there's only a couple of times you can get away with having a hole in the block before the blockers on the other side decide, no, you know what? I'm going to prioritize you now.
Handline did exactly that. Brought her 6'2" frame over to close that block up. But they give it right back, an error from Montserrat. Now 20-18, here's Childress. Played her college ball at Penn State. An Olympian. Bronze with Team USA in Rio. Hence, and give the point to Member Mene.
Talk about some heat there.
Goodness.
And even Hence, I mean, she plays with the USA national team. She was in Paris as one of their reserve players, and even she couldn't handle that.
Long on the service error. So again, things getting tight here, time running short, but Abercrombie still in the hunt, just down 2, 21-19. Again, we were even coming into this third set. So no score to meet, you just need to win the set. Johnson. Thomas Ayalara around the block and in. Handline and Johnson standing sentry there waiting for that attack, and Temi Thomas Ayalara worked it well.
Yeah, such a sharp angle. She knew she had to, right? Because the blockers were there waiting. There was only one place that set was going.
Monserrat, Lecator denied. The reset. Hens keeps it going. A battle at the net. And the point to Abercrombie. They say Member Mene was out of bounds on their attack.
That's a
second look.
Great use by Temi Thomas Ayalara. Goes off the hands and out of bounds, real close to being in. Is it worth a challenge from Miss Member Mene? Because we're tied up.
21 all here in the third.
Remember, back to set 2. Remember the energy that we saw from this side and how just ever so slowly and calmly the Abercrombie side crept back in and took over.
You called it. Just like in the second. Got just maybe a little comfortable.
And this looked like advantage for the blue side. I mean, this is a really tight ball. Temi Thomas Ayalara doing pretty much anything she can underneath the ball to go off Johnson's hands and out.
So that was a challenge by Member Mene, understandably so, and it did not go their way. Point stands, it was Johnson hitting that one down out of bounds. Abercrombie, they have tied it at 21. They give it right back. And Member Mene goes up 22-21, 70-69 overall. Down to the wire. Don't forget, if somehow we are knotted up after this, we go to the golden set here in Athletes Unlimited.
Yeah, we had one already.
Service error begets service error. 22-22.
Rosenthal surely going to target Lecator. Indeed, she does.
Yep. From the back row. Big swing, big delivery from Kingdon Rischel.
There's a perfect pass right on the head of Marley Monserrat. That in-system ball is what makes this play perfect. All those options available. Not much the block can do.
23-22. To the outside, off the block, Johnson keeps it in play. Lecator, Hence. Overpass comes right back to Lecator. They'll reset her, soft touch, Childress ready. Thomas Ayalara, big swing. The dig there from Velez Agosto. Abercrombie, the captain, with a big time strike. We're even at 23.
Heavy digs right here. Hence with a one-handed stab. And there's a lot of play happening all in one, but it's the defense that keeps this alive. Velez Agosto then has her turn to pop it up. These two teams having to work so hard to get a point. Of course, it's Abercrombie off the top of the block and frustrating Willow in the defense.
And we'll get a timeout called. 23 all. Key Michael, Greg Meskel here with you. Savannah Collins, our reporter. And Key, you couldn't ask for a more exciting finish here, down to the end, even at 23.
I mean, these two teams are actually really well matched. We didn't think about it in the intro of this match. All these different pieces of the puzzle, every person contributing something. And again, I love that we're seeing these little push and pulls, the blue side getting some points and then gold coming back. And it just shows you how well these two teams were drafted.
Now, 2 points to decide this thing. If you look first at Member Mene, what's their approach to try and close this out? We mentioned the idea that maybe they got to pinch comfortable. Now they find themselves in a dogfight, but it's still right there for the taking.
Well, I love that they've utilized Maddie Rochelle and Willow Johnson to their maximum so far. So for me, they'd have to continue doing that. They cannot go quiet on those two players. Also, a little bit more middle. When the ball is on, absolutely utilize it. They've been tough serving, and that pressure has been difficult for the gold side to handle, but maybe a couple more tips. Those were following early days on the gold side. Maybe incorporate that a little bit as well.
Now, one thing to note, team Member Mene, they've used both of their timeouts, both of their challenges here at 23 all. Gold has still some left in the tank. 23 all between these two. Experience AU Pro Volleyball in person here in Mesa, Arizona. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of this, Key? Every game day includes autograph opportunities, giveaways, and more. Go to auprovolleyball.com to buy your tickets today.
Some of the fans hiding, they're here, but they might be missing work to do it or something like that.
Let's check in with Savannah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what Lecator Member Mene just told her team, because it fired me up, and I know it did them too. She said, "We live for these settings. As athletes, this is what we love. So eyes on the hitter's arms, let's always move our feet. And in these last couple points, it all comes down to discipline. We got this."
Ooh, I like that.
Good stuff, Savannah. Lecator denied.
Discipline on the gold side in the block is Molly McCage. Again, call on her when you need a friend, when you need somebody to get it done, it's McCage.
Here's Abercrombie. Match point for the squad in gold. Member Mene, Johnson. McCage off the block. That'll do it. Molly calls game.
Molly McCage on the move with the gold side, and what a way to finish, sneaking up from behind. That is exactly the consistency, the calm reaction that we expect out of a team headed up by Brittany Abercrombie, who is one of the most cool-headed players I think I've ever seen. She's put together one of the most dominant squads again this week, and they are so fun to watch.
That 100-point set goes the way of the gold squad. Abercrombie, 40 for the set, 60 for the match. They improve to 2-0. Heartbreak for Member Mene. They fall to 0-2. Had all kinds of opportunities to take this one, and just that tight, 2 points.
Yeah, Member Mene's side were really balanced. They utilized a lot of the weapons, but on the one side, one player standing out for me again, it's Molly McCage. She ends up as top scorer for Team Abercrombie with 15 points, and this is why she's available. She's dynamic. She's closing the block. She's putting pressure on the other team in her serve even. A lot of pieces to the puzzle have to do with this middle rotation, and it's Molly McCage.
Second look at match point. Pure energy. 15 points for Molly, 5 blocks, and Molly McCage standing by with Savannah Collins.
Molly, I know you just told me you don't know how much of that last play you just remember, but what you do, walk me through it.
I'm pretty sure Willow hit it, and we just got this amazing touch, and our defense is so solid. I knew that the minute that we had like this free ball situation, I was like, Leisha's gonna set me, and I'm gonna hammer the heck out of this. Sorry, I almost cussed. No, but I have so much trust in Alicia. Like, it's just so much fun playing with her. I know that she can set the speed that I want, and it's just beautiful execution.
Talk about adaptability on this team. How did you all continue to find a way throughout this game?
Yeah, kudos to Lek and Maddie and like the passing and Noma. Like they were in system a lot and it was really, really difficult to defend and we couldn't find it until like the last minute. You saw it was like 0-0 getting those 25-23, 25-23. And then we just like, guys, we got to do this literally right now. And so we did it. It was great.
Today, you all were challenged. What did you learn about yourselves?
That we can't take any plays off. You know, I think yesterday it was like, oh, we're grooving, we have this flow and it's easy. And then we just kind of checked out just a tiny bit. So we weren't on our blocking assignments, we weren't on our defense assignments, but we can't do that. Like they will take advantage of every single play that we don't do that. So we really have to stay on top of it.
Thank you, Molly. Congratulations on the win and a great game. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
You're the best.
Back to you guys.
I think that's the best interview we've had all season. Sometimes players get the mic in front of them and they get a little bit stuck and don't know what to say. That was honesty out of Molly McCage. I love that.
Love the energy, the excitement. We got to do this right now.
Yeah.
Here's a look at the updated leaderboard with the wins. Remember, no MVP points from match 2 included, but Abercrombie now out in front. That 100-point third set always helps. And then Lekator still right there battling for captaincy in week 4.
I mean, I keep saying the same thing, but Manami Kojima, I really want to see her in the captain's chair. I'd love to see who she takes first. And also, if 3 of those orange players do get split up, that'll be really fun to see because they've been dynamic together. How do they then reshuffle as Lekator was with Betty? Brittany was with Betty. Those were players that we saw together. We're really fun. Now we're seeing it unravel in different ways. I love this about Athletes Unlimited.
If you want to be a captain, a good path is to get on Betty's squad.
Yeah,
that
fair.
brings the end to an exciting day 2 here, week 3. Once again, our final score, 73-71. Team Abercrombie takes it. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball continues Monday at 7 Eastern. For more information about where to watch, visit auprovolleyball.com. For Key Michael, Savannah Collins, and our entire crew, I'm Greg Meskel. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your Sunday.